The ship flew through the darkness of space, silent and fast. Ryan sat near a large, curved window, staring at the stars as they stretched into glowing lines. He was still trying to understand everything that had happened. Just hours ago, he was alone in the desert with nothing but a campfire. Now he was aboard an alien ship, next to someone not from Earth and on a mission that could change the future of humanity. He turned to Lyra. She was studying the ship's controls, moving her fingers across glowing symbols that floated in the air. She worked with calm focus, her eyes moving slowly from one symbol to the next. "You seem very calm," Ryan said. "I have trained for this moment," she replied. "But I did not expect to do it with a human." Ryan looked at her. "Why not?" "Because your world hides from the galaxy," she said. "Most humans do not even know they are part of a much larger universe." Ryan nodded. That was true. The Earth Defense Union had guessed there were other life forms out there, but they had never made real contact. Until now. "What about you?" Ryan asked. "Why didn't you hide like your people?" Lyra was quiet for a moment. "My people fear Earth," she said. "Your world grows stronger every year, faster than any other. You have no control, no counsel. You could become dangerous." "And you don't think that?" Ryan asked. Lyra shook her head. "I think danger comes from silence and fear. You speak. You question. That is why I am here." Ryan didn't fully understand, but he liked her answer. It meant she saw something good in him, something worth trusting. "Tell me more about the weapon," he said. "What is it?" Lyra pressed a button. The glowing map returned, showing the star systems again. The bright wave of energy moved closer to Earth. "It is called the eclipse field," she explained. "A machine built thousands of years ago. No one can control it. It destroys stars, moons, planets. It was built for war, but those who built it are gone now." Ryan stared at the wave moving toward Earth. It was slow but steady. Once it arrived, it would not stop. "Why did they build something like that?" he asked. "To end war forever," Lyra said sadly. "They thought a weapon so powerful would keep peace, but after it was made, they realized they had made something they did not understand. Now it travels through space, and nothing stops it." "And you think Earth can stop it?" "Only Earth," she confirmed. "Your world has a rare element. We call it verdinite. It is the only thing that can destroy the eclipse field." Ryan leaned back in his seat. "So you came to Earth to find this element?" "No," she said. "I came to find someone who could use it." Ryan stared at her. "You mean me?" "Yes," she said. "The weapon must be stopped by hand. Someone must get close to it and place the verdinite inside its core." "Close to it," he said slowly. "How close?" "Inside the weapon," she replied. "No machine can enter. Only a living being." Ryan sat in silence. He imagined flying into a wave of endless energy. It seemed impossible. It seemed like a death mission. He didn't say anything for a few minutes. Lyra stood and placed a hand on the window. "Humans are strange," she said softly. "You doubt yourselves, but you always try again." Ryan stood beside her. The stars were quiet, and the ship hummed softly. "Where are we going now?" he asked. "To your world's orbit," she answered. "To collect the verdinite. It is hidden inside a secret base on your moon." Ryan blinked. "Earth has a base on the moon?" "Yes," Lyra said. "You built it 10 years ago, but even your leaders do not know what is inside." Ryan's head spun. There was so much about Earth he didn't know, even as a scout. Lyra walked back to the controls. "Prepare yourself," she said. "Once we reach the moon, we cannot return until we have the element." Ryan nodded. He stood straight. Whatever happened next, he would face it. He walked to the back of the ship. There were strange-looking suits hanging on the wall. He picked one up. It was smooth, flexible, almost like fabric, but stronger. He looked back at Lyra. "Is this for space?" he asked. "Yes," she said. "You will need it." Ryan put the suit on. It felt light but tough. He looked at his reflection in a shiny panel. He did not look like a scout anymore. He looked like something else. Maybe a protector, maybe a hero. The ship slowed. A bright white curve filled the window. Ryan stared. It was Earth's moon. "We are here," Lyra said. "The Verdonite is deep inside a hidden vault. Only you can open it." Ryan's heart raced. "Why me?" "Because the vault reads human minds," she said. "Only someone who believes in something more than survival can open it." Ryan stepped closer to the window. He believed in a lot of things. But was it enough? He faced Lyra. "I will try," he said. She gave a calm nod. "I know." The ship landed in a dark crater on the moon's surface. The landing was soft and silent. Lyra handed Ryan a small round device. "This will guide you," she said. "But it will not open anything. Only you can." Ryan took a deep breath and stepped outside. The ground crunched beneath his boots. The stars seemed sharper here, brighter without the Earth's air. The vault was hidden inside an old mining station. The door was tall and smooth, like metal glass. Ryan placed his hand on it. A blue light ran across its surface. "State your purpose," a voice echoed. Ryan swallowed. "To protect my world," he said. "To stop what is coming." The door stayed still. He closed his eyes. He thought of Earth, the oceans, the forests, the children who played in schools, the people who lived without knowing what was coming. He thought of the stars. He thought of the ship. He thought of trust. "I am doing this for everyone," he said. "Not just for me." The door beeped. A line of light cracked down the middle. Then the vault opened. A glowing crystal sat in the center, the Verdonite. Ryan lifted it. It was light and warm. It pulsed like a heart. "I found it," he said softly. Lyra's voice came from his suit. "Good. Now we leave. The weapon is almost here." Ryan turned. He held the crystal tight and ran back toward the ship. The door closed behind him. Inside, Lyra took the crystal and placed it in a silver container. "It is ready," she said. "We fly to the eclipse field now." Ryan stood next to her. "How long until it reaches Earth?" "Less than 1 day," she said. "We must reach it before then." Ryan nodded. He looked at the stars outside the ship. He wasn't scared anymore. He had made his choice. "Let's go," he said. The ship rose, lifted off the moon's surface, and flew into the darkness of space. The mission had begun. The ship flew through the quiet dark of space, heading straight toward the danger that waited beyond the stars. Ryan stood beside Lyra, both of them watching the screen in front of them. It showed a swirling blue and white wave that stretched farther than Ryan could imagine. "That is the eclipse field," Lyra said. Ryan kept his eyes on the image. It was terrifying. It didn't look like a weapon. It looked like a storm made of pure energy, twisting and expanding as it moved. "How far are we?" he asked. "Not long now," Lyra replied. "Within hours we will be close enough to enter." Ryan nodded, but a thought kept growing in his mind. "Why aren't your people stopping it? Why did they leave it alone for so long?" Lyra stared at the wave too. "Because they are afraid of losing what little they have left. They believe nothing can stop the eclipse field. They choose to hide and let it pass. But I will not." "What changed your mind?" Ryan asked. Lyra looked at him. Her silver eyes were calm, but full of something deep. "You," she said. "Your kind still believes in trying, even when there is no chance. That is why I came to you, not them." Ryan didn't know what to say. He was just one scout, one man from Earth, but she saw something more in him. The ship shook gently. Lyra looked down at the screen. "We are entering the outer edge of the field," she said. "It is not yet strong here, we can still move." Ryan looked through the window. The stars outside flickered strange colors. The ship's hull hummed. "How close do we have to get?" he asked. "To the center," Lyra said. "That is where you must place the Verdonite." Ryan swallowed. "I'll need to go out there, won't I?" "Yes," she said softly. No ship can enter the core. You must go alone. Ryan stood still. There it was. The truth of the mission. It was never going to be a simple delivery. It was a sacrifice. But before he could say anything, the ship's alarm rang. A red light flashed. Enemy ship detected, the screen read. Ryan's eyes widened. Enemy? Yes, Lyra said quickly. They followed us. They do not want the eclipse field stopped. On the screen, a dark triangular ship appeared. It moved fast, cutting through the blue energy like it was nothing. Ryan looked at Lyra. Who are they? Followers of the old weapon, she said. They worship destruction. They believe the eclipse field will wipe out the weak and leave only the strong. The enemy ship opened fire. A bright beam of energy shot toward them. Lyra moved fast, pressing her hand against the controls. The ship tilted sharply. The beam missed by inches. Ryan held onto a support pole. Can we outrun them? No, she said. But we can stop them. The enemy ship fired again. The blast hit their shields, shaking the cabin. Lyra turned to Ryan. I need your help. Take the controls for a moment. Ryan moved quickly to the co-pilot seat. He had flown smaller craft on Earth, but nothing like this. Symbols glowed in front of him. What do I do? He asked. Hold us steady, she said. I will handle the counterattack. Ryan pressed his hand against the screen. It responded, glowing blue under his touch. The ship steadied. Another attack hit, but Lyra was ready. She opened her hand and a pulse of white energy shot from their ship, hitting the enemy vessel. Sparks flew. The enemy ship spun off balance, but it didn't fall. They're stronger than us, Ryan said. Only in weapons, Lyra replied. Not in purpose. She hit the controls again. Another blast. The enemy ship caught fire, spinning into the wave behind them. It vanished into the eclipse field. Lyra lowered her hands and breathed out slowly. Ryan steadied the ship. Did we win? We bought time, she said. That is enough. Ryan sat back. The danger outside only grew. The ship flew deeper into the eclipse field now. Light seemed to bend around them. The air inside vibrated. Ryan looked at Lyra. How long until we reach the core? Less than 1 hour, she said. But the energy will grow stronger. You must prepare. Ryan stood and walked to the back of the ship. He opened a panel and found the spacesuit hanging there. It was stronger than the suit from the moon base. It looked like metal, but when he touched it, it felt soft. A helmet rested nearby. Lyra came over and lifted it. You will wear this, she said. It will protect your mind inside the weapon. My mind? Ryan asked. The eclipse field is not just energy, she said. It changes thoughts. It confuses belief. The suit protects you from that. Ryan nodded. He slipped the suit on. It fit perfectly. He put the helmet under his arm. Are you ready? She asked in a calm voice. No, Ryan said honestly. But I'm going anyway. Lyra smiled, a small one. Then you are ready. The ship shook again. The window filled with bright light. The energy around them was almost too much to look at. Ryan felt the ship slow. We are here, Lyra said. This is where I stop. What do you mean? He asked. I cannot fly closer, she said. My body cannot survive the core. Only a human can walk into it. Ryan stood tall. He held the verdinite crystal. It pulsed in his hand, glowing warm and strong. What happens after I place it? He asked. Lyra looked at him, her calm eyes full of something human for the first time. If everything goes right, the wave will collapse. It will stop, and all life will be safe. And if it goes wrong? He asked. She paused. Then we lose everything. Ryan put the helmet on. The screen in front of his face came to life. His heartbeat filled the speakers. His breathing echoed in his ears. Lyra opened the hatch. Beyond it, a long bridge of energy stretched into bright light. Ryan stepped forward. If I don't come back? You will, she said, because you choose hope. He stepped out onto the bridge. The energy around him glowed in every color he had ever seen, and many he had not. He took one step forward, and then another. He didn't look back. Ryan walked forward, each step slow, steady, and full of purpose. The bridge beneath his feet was made of pure energy, glowing in shifting colors. It did not feel like glass or metal. It felt like a pulse, like something alive. His suit protected him, but even then he could feel the force of the eclipse field around him. It wasn't just bright. It was heavy, like the air was full of invisible waves pushing against him. He gripped the verdinite crystal tight in his hand. It pulsed with every beat of his heart. Behind him, the ship waited. Lyra watched in silence, her face tense but calm. She stood by the controls, tracking Ryan's steps. She trusted him now more than she trusted her own people. Trust was all they had left. Ryan moved further onto the bridge, and soon the light around him grew brighter. Shapes began to flicker in the space ahead, glowing lines, endless circles of motion, and strange symbols he could not read. This was not just a weapon. It was something ancient, built with knowledge not meant for anyone to control. He kept going. The crystal's light matched the light around him. It was drawn to the center. A voice echoed in Ryan's helmet. It was Lyra. You are close, she said. There will be resistance. Stay focused, Ryan nodded. His breathing was slow and even. The suit protected his body, but the voice in his mind, his own doubts, grew louder. He thought of Earth. He thought of the children in cities, the forests and oceans, the mountains that reached the clouds. He thought of what Lyra told him, that humans were still willing to try even when they had no guarantee of success. He walked farther. Suddenly, the shape of the core appeared in front of him. It floated in the center of a vast sphere of swirling energy. It was enormous, a dark metal structure turning slowly in the bright field. It had no windows, no doors, just one open place in the surface. That is where you must place the crystal, Lyra said. Ryan stared. The opening seemed too small for his hand. Too small for something that was supposed to save planets. Yet Ryan felt no fear now. Only a calm determination. He took another step, and then the bridge shook. Energy surged to the surface, and just like that, Ryan saw movement at the edge of his vision. A shape, then another, then many. Figures began to form out of the light itself. But they weren't living. They looked like shadows of people, like memories of beings long gone. They had no faces, no eyes, no voices. But they reached for him, hands made of energy. Ryan didn't run. He held out the verdinite and stepped forward. The shadows stopped. They flickered and watched him. You were not made to destroy, Ryan said softly. You were made to protect. To end war, the shadows shifted. They seemed to hesitate. Ryan walked forward again, closer to the core. One shadow moved closer. Its shape trembled as if it did not understand. Ryan reached his free hand toward it. The shadow touched him and his suit sparked, but he did not fall. The suit's protection held. You are trapped, Ryan said. Just like this weapon. But I am here to end it. The shadow's hand lowered. Ryan walked past them. They did not stop him now. They only faded into the light. Ryan reached the core. The opening was right in front of him. It was just big enough to hold the verdinite. He raised his hand. The crystal glowed brighter, as if it knew this was the moment. Then he heard Lyra's voice again. Soft but full of courage. You must place it slowly, she said. When the field reacts, you will feel pressure. Do not let go until it is fully inside, Ryan nodded. He took a deep breath. He pressed the crystal into the opening. The moment he did, the entire core lit up. The light turned from bright white to deep green. The swirling field around him stopped moving. The bridge beneath his feet trembled. For the first time, Ryan felt his heart race. His suit vibrated with force. The energy pushed against him. His hand tightened around the crystal as it slowly sank deeper into the core. He didn't let go. The light became blinding. The field began to collapse. Lyra watched from the ship, her hands gripping the controls. It is working, she whispered. But he must hold on. Inside the field, Ryan felt the weight of 1,000 worlds pressing against him. He could barely stand, his suit cracked at the wrist. The energy pushed him harder. He grit his teeth, holding on to the crystal. Come on, he said quietly. Just a little more. The crystal sank fully into the core. A final surge of energy hit him. His helmet screen flickered. His body shook. Then the light stopped. The noise ended. The wave froze. The field collapsed in silence. Ryan looked up. The swirling storm vanished and left only stars behind. The core cracked and dissolved into dust. The bridge turned dark. Ryan fell to one knee and breathed out slowly. His suit was damaged but held together. "It's done," he whispered. Lyra's voice returned in his helmet. "Ryan," she said, "the weapon is gone." "You did it," he smiled weakly. "I need a ride," he said. Lyra's ship moved toward him. The hatch opened. Light spilled out onto the darkened bridge. Ryan stood slowly and began to walk back. His steps were slow, but he was still alive. The bridge faded behind him. He did not look back. Lyra helped him inside. He took off the helmet, breathing fresh air again. "You saved us," she said. "You saved everything." Ryan nodded. "I just did what had to be done." The ship turned and Earth appeared through the window once more. The world was safe now, because Ryan did not let fear stop him, and because Lyra chose to trust him. In the outskirts of Earth's largest desert, a man named Ryan stood alone under a sky full of stars. His campfire crackled quietly in the night, the only sound for miles around. Ryan was a scout for the Earth Defense Union, but this desert was not his real mission. He had been sent to investigate strange energy readings coming from this area. Signals had been intercepted from space, and the only conclusion was simple but unbelievable. Something, or someone, had landed on Earth. Ryan had no idea what he was supposed to find, but he knew something was coming. He looked up again at the sky. One star seemed to be moving slowly and silently. It was not a star at all. It was a ship. The object in the sky kept getting closer. It did not make any sound, and it did not flash with any visible colors. It was smooth like a stone and shaped like a long tear. Ryan stepped back from his fire, his hand reaching for his scanner. It quickly began to beep. "Unknown energy source detected," the device read. The ship landed in front of Ryan. The sand hardly moved. The ship hovered an inch above the desert floor, letting out a soft hum. A shape moved inside. Then a door opened. He held his breath. A figure stepped out. She was tall, elegant, and unlike anything from Earth. Her eyes were bright like silver mirrors, and her skin seemed to catch the dim starlight in a soft glow. She looked at Ryan as if she already knew him. "Human," she said. Her voice was clear, gentle, and calm. Ryan did not speak. He had been trained for first contact. He was supposed to follow protocol, call his commander, and wait for backup. But something in her calm face made him lower his hand and breathe easier. "How do you know my language?" he asked. "I learned it on the way," she answered. "My name is Lyra. I come from the Aten system." Ryan stared. The Aten system was a mystery even to Earth's best scouts. But one thing was clear. No one from that system had ever come to Earth before. "Why are you here?" he finally asked. "To meet you," she said. "I have information that could save your world. But I cannot share it with your leaders or your armies. It must be you." Ryan blinked. He didn't understand. "Why me?" "Because you still trust," she said. "Because you still choose curiosity instead of fear." Her expression did not change. She looked calm, but Ryan could feel the weight of her words. If she was telling the truth, this was more important than anything he had ever done in his life. He stepped forward slowly. "What is this information?" Lyra raised her hand. A small sphere of light appeared above her palm. It showed a map of stars, then a wave of energy crashing toward Earth. "An ancient weapon is heading for your world. It is not controlled by any living being. It destroys everything in its path. My people fear it, but they also fear you. They refuse to help. I do not." She paused, looking into Ryan's eyes. "You must help me stop it. You must learn what I know." Ryan stared into the glowing sphere. He could see the energy wave on the map. It was real. It was huge. And it was coming fast. "How much time do we have?" he asked. "Not long," she replied. "Only your world has the material needed to destroy it." Ryan nodded slowly, his mind racing. "Then let's get started." Lyra gave a small smile. "Good, but first we must leave this place. More ships will come soon, and they will not be friendly." Ryan understood. Not everyone in the galaxy wanted peace. He packed quickly and climbed aboard her ship. Inside, the ship was smooth and quiet. He looked around. It was unlike anything he had ever seen. "Do not worry," she said. You are safe here, Ryan nodded. He believed her. He didn't know why, but he did. The ship lifted silently into the air. The ground fell away. The stars drew closer. Lyra stood beside him, her eyes focused ahead. Your world has more power than you know, she said. I will show you how to use it. Ryan didn't speak. The weight of the mission settled on his shoulders. He was not just a scout anymore. He was the one she chose, the only one who could do what had to be done, and Earth's future now rested with him. The battle between the human defense forces and the Neroth fleet continued above the skies of Earth. The bright lights of energy beams streaked across the dark heavens like shooting stars. But down on the ground, in the quiet valley where the ancient temple stood, time seemed frozen. Inside the sacred hall of the temple, Aaron stood face to face with Alira. She was no longer wearing the royal armor of the Neroth Empire. Instead, she wore a simple white robe, the traditional dress of her people's royal family when they stood in front of their ancestors. Her silver eyes looked calm, but inside she was trembling. Aaron knew. He had come to understand her far better than she expected. You don't have to do this alone, Aaron said gently, stepping toward her. Alira looked away, her voice soft. This is my responsibility. I am the future queen. I must protect my people. And I am your husband, Aaron replied firmly. Even if our marriage started as a peace agreement, it has become real to me. The silence that followed wasn't empty. It was full of meaning, full of memories from their journey. The time they escaped together, the sacrifices they made, the quiet nights under the alien sky when Alira looked up at the stars and wondered what her home had become. At first, she was only doing her duty. But now Aaron was something more to her. I never wanted war, she said, her voice shaking. I never wanted lives to be lost. Aaron gently placed a hand on her shoulder. Then let's end it. Together. The air in the temple shifted. Something ancient and powerful stirred. The ground trembled as the pure energy crystal, pulsing with light, rose from the center of the stone altar. This crystal was the source of the power the Neroth Empire feared. It was guarded for centuries. No one knew what it truly held, until now. Alira finally met Aaron's gaze. The crystal is responding to you. That means you are the one chosen. The ancient law says only a heart strong with purpose can unlock it. And you trust me to open it? Aaron asked. She nodded. I trust you more than I trust anyone else, even myself. Before either of them could say another word, the temple doors burst open. A squad of Neroth soldiers entered, their armor glowing. At the front was Commander Viel, Alira's cousin, and one of the strongest military leaders of their people. You were told to stay away from the human, Viel said sharply, pointing toward Aaron. The Empire will not allow him to unlock the crystal. The soldiers raised their weapons, ready to fire. Aaron instinctively stepped forward to shield Alira. He stood firm even though he had no weapon of his own. But then something incredible happened. The crystal pulsed brighter. A radiant glow spread across Aaron's body, and every corner of the temple filled with light. The soldiers hesitated. Vial looked uncertain as he shielded his eyes. This should not be possible. Alira's eyes widened as she looked at Aaron. In that moment, the crystal bonded with him. His heartbeat became one with its pulse, and the vision of an ancient unity between humans and the Neroth became clear. They were never meant to be enemies. They were two sides of the same truth. I don't want to be your enemy, Aaron said calmly, still glowing with the crystal's power. I want peace, for both of us. Vial stepped back. The prophecy speaks of a guardian from another world, one that would bring balance, but we thought it would be one of us. It seems the ancient truth chose differently, Alira said softly. He is the answer. As the energy around Aaron grew stronger, the soldiers slowly lowered their weapons. Vial hesitated, then knelt. Others followed. Alira watched it all with a quiet breath of relief and awe. It's time to end this war, Aaron said. And so they did. Alira and Aaron returned to the skies, This time, not as fugitives or prisoners, they stood on the command deck of the Neroth flagship, transmitting the ancient law to every ship, every captain, and every citizen. The war ended, not by force, but by truth. The light of the crystal spread across both planets, restoring what was lost between the two races. Soon after, an alliance was born. Humans and the Neroth worked together. What once seemed impossible was now the future. On the day of her coronation, Alira stood before her people, no longer hiding her emotions. She looked at Aaron, who stood proudly by her side. They were different, yet connected by something stronger than blood, choice, fate, and the power to change the world together. "I was sent to marry a human to end the war," Alira said in her speech. "But instead, I found the one who helped me find the truth." Aaron took her hand, and in front of thousands she smiled genuinely for the first time in years. The universe watched as the new queen and the human who changed everything walked side by side, ready to lead a new era. The war was over, but their story had only just begun.